Coming to you from Crunchyroll HQ, this is the Gachiakuta After Show, where each week we are talking out the trash and breaking down the latest from the anime series, sharing our favorite moments and so much more. I'm a giver, Nick Friedman.
Not this again. He's been trying to use that in the intro for the past 5 weeks.
Don't make it weird, y'all.
Hey, this is Leah President.
And it's your favorite resident cleaner, LeAlec.
Let's enter the abyss. Together.
I feel like
right.
yours was so terse, Nick. It's like, together.
Well, I mean, this episode is a little bittersweet. I mean, there's a kind of a...
It really is.
Yeah, so let's not dance around it. We're going to jump right into the recap of episode 9 of Gachiakuta. So,
yeah.
This episode starts with Rudo washing his hands and I guess kind of taking care of them because they're all mangled up.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, wait, there's a hot babe in my room.
I've seen this one before.
I've seen how this goes down. But the interesting thing about him washing his hands is that he kind of alludes to his parents having something to do with the way his hands are. So we're starting to unravel another mystery here with that too.
Yeah, and so he goes back to his room. Rio's there, just chilling on the bed. It was we're getting a little bit of 80s high school movie-ness in here a little bit.
Which it's a little bit conflicting because they are becoming his family. He finally has a group of people that are I about him and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I might eat these words, but I was going to say I might eat these words, but I don't know that I can see the series going in the romantic direction. So,
yeah, same.
Then we're off to Canvas Town, but they're planning to go to Canvas Town,
which is so creative. The whole description and just the premise of a city it's a blank canvas that all of the residents there fill with art, which obviously the creation of this show with a graffiti artist, it's really cool to see the integration of that medium here, within the plot of the story.
Yeah, you see a lot of the graffiti inspiration kind of on display, from different artist standpoints in the city, and it's
we're not there yet, guys. We're not in Canvas Town yet. We know it's called the City of Art because the bad guy leader in the last episode references it. So I'm sure that's going to come to a head at some point.
Yes, definitely.
I think this calls back to what we talked about earlier in the series where we were all kind of surprised that there's a level of society down here and development and cafes and all this stuff. This is we're hearing about this legit city that we're going to get to see.
Legit city. That's where I'm from.
Opposed to a fake city.
Oh my God. But basically they need to go to Canvas Town because Rudo needs special clothes for No Man's Land, which we talked about in the last episode.
He needs to get fitted.
Yes, but they can't rush the designer, so they're going to go get a spell cast, which we get a little bit of a hint.
The designer was crazy.
He's just
I love
in his room,
the unhinged artist vibes.
Yeah, in his room,
jamming out.
Going insane, playing rock music and putting clothes together.
Yep,
and the cleaners are looking at him like he's crazy.
Yeah, and so the designer can't be rushed, so they're going to get a spell cast, and we get a little bit of glimpse into how quote magic kind of works in this world.
Yeah, which is cool.
And the giver who does that is Gob, who we met briefly in episode 5.
And I know you guys will touch on this, so I don't want to steal your glory. So Delman, the guy that we mentioned, Big Hat Man,
the big guy,
and Timsy. Who we've only really seen in glimpses. They join our field trip. And this is probably one of the best moments of the episode. But again, I'm not going to steal you guys' thunder.
Yeah, my favorite.
But yeah, Delman is a vibe, and I he is my spirit animal now.
We're on the road to Canvas Town, and we get there.
On the road again.
And there's 2 freaks that can't get in.
They're like, there's a wall here. I can't see it, but it's here. And the rest of the group just kind of strolls in.
You need to eat nails for breakfast without any milk.
That goes back to your point to where we figure out how magic works here, and they kind of explain it because if you have any kind of ill intent or really malice trying to enter the city, it totally just blocks you off.
Which is interesting because we just met a battle element that also featured intent.
Yeah.
with the talisman. So that was really interesting to see that come up again.
Yeah, and it's like this place is like the opposite of the salty spittoon from SpongeBob. Like there you like have to be hard. And here it's like, yeah, you got to be like clear-minded.
Yeah, you got to be
soft.
You got to be soft. But okay, I do want to call out that when we first see Canvas Town, the music. We're getting this like it's almost like very like Samurai Champloo, bebop-esque like hip-hop transition music, and it's like really cool.
That's exactly what it reminded me of. Like it was very like in the like late 90s, early 2000s, like, you know, hip hop, J Dilla, Nujabes, like it's all in that like pocket. And it just felt like it felt really good and it felt really natural. And I think that's the beautiful thing I've loved about the series. Kind of like it's an underlying like subplot is like all of the music is incredible in pretty much every scene like that they have to incorporate music into.
So after the gang makes fun of Engine for making a little kid cry.
It was so funny. They just rag on him for like a solid 2 minutes.
We run into the mayor of the town who they were going to meet, but we find out that the person that they've come to see to cast this spell has actually died that very morning. We kind of see his vital instrument, which is a graffiti marker. And then the little kid that Engine made cry makes another appearance, and we find out that they are actually next in line to inherit Gob's vital instrument, which is that graffiti pen.
Rest in peace, Gob.
Yeah. And they were like siblings, apparently, they describe them as. So, yeah, that must be really tough, especially because we're learning the reason that Gob died, which was he basically wanted to. He was basically like a missionary for graffiti art. Like he was a missionary for art and spreading that power like that art has. Obviously, like for protection, for joy. He was kind of like going beyond the recommended boundaries. And because of that, he died of, I think they call it body pollution.
Yes.
Yeah. We start finding out about more of the, you know, threats in this world in particular.
Yes. And we are going to cover that here in a bit in the dumpster dive. For the rest of the episode, though, I mean, we kind of close things with this really amazing scene that I think may be one of my favorites in the show so far, where, you know, Remlin has been crying basically since we met them because they're, you know, they're mourning their mentor, their sibling, they're feeling the pressure of like, you know, being the successor. And everyone's kind of talking about like, oh, it's going to take time and we need to work through this and blah, 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 blah. But Remlin ends this episode by basically saying like, no, guys, we're going to party.
Yeah, pick yourself up.
Because this is what God would have wanted. And they use the vital instrument to create what I can only describe as like a paint fireworks explosion.
Yeah. It was epic.
We're going to get into that more in a bit, but it's, yeah, the whole town's just like painting it up. It's awesome.
It was a really sweet moment of like two really broken kiddos healing just a little bit.
Yep.
Like I remember seeing like that shot of Rudo's face where his eyes are just like going, oh, like he's mesmerized like with the fireworks show. And like, yeah, it's just a love fest moment. A good note to end the episode on.
Yep. And that's episode 9. That's episode 9 of Gachiakuta. We've got some stuff to talk about in the dumpster dive. All right, so Lee, talk about the like magic system, the power system of the series in this episode.
We've up until this point in the series have only really assumed that your vital instrument has to be something that is specifically special to you, like something that you're specifically taking care of. But then we find out how that's not always the case. Like the instrument can be passed to you via like training, mentorship, what have you, and you can inherit the powers of that instrument.
To me, it feels like such a seamless way to integrate not only our connections to objects, but our connections to each other, like as a community. Because it's like they've integrated the connection of community and each other in the same way that they've connected the way that vital instruments can be created through your relationship with an object, which I think is a great way to kind of like add that world building.
They play on the relationship with a person instead of a relationship with an object, which allows you to be able to like past that, so that like we're getting more depth for how like vital instruments work. We're starting to get layers to what, having giver powers actually like means in this universe.
The other big thing that we get as far as the lore in the series in this episode is we learn about body pollution and sphere litter. So sphere litter finally gives us a name for basically how the ground sees the relationship that the spherites have with where they live. Mm-hmm. Whereas, before we just see like, oh, they throw trash. But now it's like, oh no, they see it as litter. It's not like they're living among the trash. This is a disaster.
Right.
Yeah, this is where they live, and the actions of this other privileged group is affecting them.
Yes.
So it's not like they're thriving in the trash. A character just died of body pollution.
Right.
They see it as a nuisance. They see it as an interrupter in their way of life, which I think is a shift in perception of this like community.
Yeah, and they just have to learn how to survive around it.
And then for the people who aren't taking those extra precautions or can't, that's where body pollution comes in. And that's what we learn happened to Gob because, theoretically, folks like him are going to the unsafe zones.
Yeah.
They're not wearing a mask. They're not able to be protected. And then it kind of catches up to them.
Right.
So yeah, we got quite a bit of additional depth to the world. And I'm really excited to learn more. Yeah, I knew you were going to do it. Let's get into the pit bull.
Mr. Sphere Wide.
It always makes me think of Pitbull. We got to make sure Pitbull knows what Gachiakuta is. If you're listening to this, tweet at Pitbull. Hey, have you been watching Gachiakuta? And let's see what he's.
To my understanding, most everybody goes to his show in cosplay, meaning as Pitbull. Like everyone wears like bald caps and stuff.
That's
so like it wouldn't be too weird to go in a different cosplay because like everyone there is dressed up.
Somebody just shows up as Engine, and he's like, "Wait."
Okay, I'm gonna jump in here. My Pitbull for this episode is the introduction of Delman because he is one of my favorite character archetypes, which is just the big hulking monster man who has the heart of gold.
Yes.
And the idea that he basically like intros himself and then just starts chanting like, and then everybody starts getting into it. Just rah. It reminds me of, this is going to date me, in Friends, that scene when like Rachel and Phoebe are trying to like throw Ross off the scent of something and they just start like freaking out like, and then Ross like takes a beat and then he's like, and he like jumps in too. Like that's what this reminds me. We can cut that whole thing if that sounded
David
like absolute fuck.
David.
But
it honestly, you know what? He like reminds me of like meeting Armstrong for the first time in Full Metal, and he's just his energy is just like big. And like when we meet Delman for the first time, like when they go and save like Rudo and the supporters, like you can like he's not only is he physically imposing, but when he shows up, he's immediately on 10. And then we meet him again in an actual.
And now he's on 11.
And now he's like broken off the knob, and it's at like 15.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I also pointed that out because I was like, it was very reminiscent of Erwin's My Soldier's Rage. Like he's like, we're gonna do it, like, and he's like hyping everybody up, and then there's an immediate like jump cut from that My Soldier's Rage speech to like them just sitting in the van in utter silence,
just like squished. Like he looks like he's like
funny.
He's got like his hands like folded and like his arms, like his shoulders by his like arms by his side, just like sitting and bouncing in the car.
It was so cute because like Rudo even was like, yeah, I agree. And he like starts chanting with it, and then it's like a jump cut.
I love it.
Very good direction
like, there.
Nick,
you alluded to it when we were going over the recap, but my favorite part of this episode is the graffiti party is how I'm labeling it. I love like the switch that Rimlin does. Like, they're all kind of like with the mayor and they're crying and they're, Engine is, really remembering like Gob because it seems like they've known each other for quite a while. And then Rimlin just kind of like spins up from, under the table and is like, nah, Gob wouldn't want this. We should celebrate, and like grabs the graffiti pen out of the mayor's hand, runs up to the roof. And originally when I saw this part, I was like, oh man, like this was like this was actually kind of a ruse. Like, Rimland's going to go up there and is going to be devastated. Total opposite.
Yeah.
Has a straight up like Okami moment. Like we see them like power up the pen and like lays down some graffiti spray cans and like makes a symbol and then just starts this like graffiti party. And like,
the transformation sequence is how I would describe it. It's so good.
It's so good because you see the graffiti cans like come alive and they get their own personality and they pop their tops and like when it starts happening, Rimland is like, "Oh, everybody, we need to celebrate." And you just see this scene of people grabbing their paint and like their markers and they just start like going to town. And like the best way I can kind of like explain it is like in a hip hop carnival almost. It's just like people are just like, we're gonna celebrate.
Paint cans in the ice, like a blizzard.
It was an incredible,
like a giver.
And I agree with you, Leah. It was like an incredible way to end an episode.
Yeah, definitely. Well, y'all, that is episode 9 of Gachiakuta.
Hell yeah!
I am so excited to see where we go from here.
Same.
And thank you for being here.
Yeah, I just love talking about the show with you guys. I hope the listeners are enjoying it. And yeah, if you haven't listened to it yet, go check out our episode with the creators of Gachiakuta.
Such a good episode.
Urana-san and Andou-san. You can hear it on the feed, or if you want to watch the video, you can go to Crunchyroll's YouTube. You'll find it there.
Still the coolest people I know.
I know, for real. Except you guys. You guys are also the coolest people I know. So,
oh, thanks, buddy.
Lee, are you ready to take us out?
If we must leave the pit, then I shall. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Gachiakuta After Show, brought to you by Crunchyroll and the folks over at Sony Music Entertainment. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
The Gachiakuta After Show is hosted by me, Nick Friedman, LeAlec Murray, and Leah President. We're executive produced by Jonathan Hirsch, Joanna Clay, and me. Thank you to our lead producer, Kyla Carnero, our producer, Carla Solorsino, and our associate producer, Zoe Culkin. Open Ended Films edited and mixed this episode's audio. Our head of production is Sammy Allison. Special thanks to Tamika Balance-Kalasny, and of course, the creators of Gachiakuta themselves, Kei Urana and Hideyoshi Andou. Y'all, the graffiti in this episode, Andou-san, you are just incredible.
Incredible.
I can't wait.
We'll be back next week with more Gachiakuta, of course. You can catch our regular news episodes and our interview episodes this week. We'll see you then.